Hi and welcome to my C++ class. This is a continuation of the other videos I have on C++. In this class, we will be creating a class in C++. Now, for those of you that don't know what a class in C++ is nothing more than a user-defined type or a data structure declared with the keyword class. It has data and functions as its members. Access is governed by three access modifiers called private, protected, and public. Uh, by default, access to members in C++ is private, and the access modifiers, public, means that members are accessible from the outside of the class. If you declared everything private, then members cannot be accessed or viewed from the outside of the class. If you declared everything protected, those members cannot be accessed from the outside of the class, but they can be accessed in inherited classes. Now in our class we're going to use what we call a constructor. And a constructor is nothing more than a special type of member function of a class which initializes objects of a class. And a constructor is automatically called when an object, or an instance of a class, is created. And so we'll see that as we create our small example of a class. And so I'm going to call this class ruler. Oh, one other thing, just like in my other videos, I am doing this on a Linux/Unix machine. Okay, so I'm just using a text file to do all of this. This is not a IDE of any type. It's not Visual Studio or anything like that. This is just a text file. And so let's create our first class. And so to do that, we'll do hashtag include IOStream. So we'll get our input-output stream. And then we'll use a namespace. And for our purposes, we will just use the standard namespace. You could create your own namespace and put it in there if you'd like. That's fine with me. Doesn't really matter. We will have a class, and we'll name it ruler. And what I mean by ruler is a measuring stick. That's what I'm talking about. So a ruler class. And so we will indent, and we will put in public. That's our keyword. Remember I said public. So pretty much anything can access these. And we'll do for our first public ones, let's do void set length. And we'll do double len. That'll be our variable. So we'll do double len. Make that so you can see it better. And we have to always remember to end everything in a semicolon to complete our line. And the next one we will do will be double. And this will be get length. And there's our get length. And this will be void. We're not going to pass this one any parameters. And we will do our semicolon to close that out. And then we'll create our constructor, which is called ruler. And we'll end that with a semicolon. I'll put in a special comment here that says, this is the constructor. Okay, and then our next line, we'll create a private member. And so we have to declare it as private. Double. And we'll call it length. You always want to keep descriptive variables of anything that you create, this helps in other people being able to read your code. It can be really tough for someone that's never seen your code before to come in and try to read it if things are not descriptive, if you just, created like a double called X or something like that. All right, so to go along with our class now, we'll create some member functions and definitions that include the constructor. And so let's put in some comments that say this. Let's see, member functions, definitions, including constructor. Okay, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so we'll call this first one ruler, using the scope resolution operator to refer to it. Ruler. Shocking. We're using the constructor. And of course the constructor was void, and so let's do void. And we'll start that off with our curly brace. And we'll do length. No. For this first one, let's not do the length. Let's do cout. Cout. And we'll put in cout. Let's see. We'll say the object is created. How about that? So ruler object is created. So we'll tell you that we created the object. And so we'll have to end this. So we'll do this, end L, and we'll end like semicolon, end L, ends our line, and we'll have to close our curly braces. Okay, so that's our first one. The second one we'll do will be called ruler set length, and we'll make that one void. So let's do void ruler scope resolution operator set length. And we'll do a double in this, double len. And we'll do curly and put inside of it length equals len. Semicolon. Remember to put our semicolons in all the time. Close our braces. And then, let's see, we're going to have to do a ruler get length next. So let's do that one. We'll make that a double. Ruler scope resolution operator get length. And this one is void. So no parameters are being passed to this particular function. And this one's going to return. We want this to return an answer. So we put our curlies in, and we're going to do a return length. Okay, and so then if we come down, what we need to add now is the main function, or the driver, if you will. And so we'll put in a comment saying main function for program. Okay, we'll do that. And we'll do int main. And our curly brace open. And then we'll come down here and put something in it. And so in this case, we'll do ruler ruler. Oh, we're creating an object. That's what we're doing here. Ruler is our class, and so our class now is we need to create it and use it. So in order to, and this is what we call instantiation. Now I'm going to call it ruler. Do I have to call this ruler? No. I could call it R. I could call it D. I could call it X. In fact, I could call it anything I want. But for my purposes, I feel like calling it ruler. When you do your programs, you can call it whatever you want. It's really up to you. But the thing to remember is when you do this, you must end it with a semicolon to complete the line. If you don't put the semicolon there, it is an error. Okay, so let's indent a little bit here, and let's put in some comment that says set the length of the ruler. Ruler length. Okay, and then below that, let's do ruler, because now we made the object ruler, so now we're going to use it. So in order to use it, we say ruler and then put in a dot after it, and then refer to the functions we already created. In this case, I'm going to grab set length. So ruler dot set length, and I'm going to set it to 6.0. Now, if you are using a Microsoft product like Visual Studio or another type of IDE like Eclipse or something like that, or NetBeans, when you hit that ruler dot, you'll see the functions that we already declared would come up for you to choose from. All right. Once again, I'm using a text file. Okay. So it doesn't do that automatically. All right. There's no IntelliSense on this. It's just a text file. So that's why you didn't see that happen. I have to type everything in for it to happen. And I actually, in some ways, I actually prefer doing it this way. So whatever. I've been doing this for what? Oh, I don't know, 25 years. So anyway, the next line, let's do cout and we're going to say the length of the ruler is, and we'll do this, and we had closed our quotes. Okay, so we had opened our quotes, closed our quotes. We're going to do this, and we're going to do ruler. I'm going to use our object again now. Dot, and in this case, we're not going to set the length. We're going to get the length. Get length. We're going to use our other function. Get length, and there we go. And so we're going to use our function, hopefully get the answer. And once we get the answer, we want it to be in inches, because this is, well, let's say it's a standard ruler. It's not a metric one. So our answers will be in inches, we'll say. And so that, and then we want to end our line here. So let's do this, and L semicolon. Okay, good. And we'll do one more thing, which is return 0, semicolon. And then end the whole thing with a closed brace. Now that's our program. Let's go through it and make sure we did it correctly. It's always good to go back and look at what you typed. We can see at the top here we are including IOStream. Okay, that's our input-output stream. And we're using the namespace standard. Our class is called ruler. We're using public members here, which are void set length and a double get length, and of course a constructor called ruler. Below that we have a private member that is double length. That is our complete ruler class. Down here we have member functions, where we created ruler, and that's basically just saying to the object is created. And then we have ruler set length, which is length equals length. And down here, we're going to do ruler get length, where we are returning the length. We come to our driver or main function, where we actually instantiate our object. We use our class, ruler. And we do ruler.setLength, which we set it to 6. And we print out the length of the ruler is, we get the length, and we return 0. And that is our program, and hopefully we saved this. Save. And if we go to the compiler, we would type in, I'm using G++, so it's G++, and I want to optimize this, so it is -O, ruler, and then ruler.cpp. And so we compile, it compiles, and then we do a /ruler. Once again, by the way, you could call this whatever you want, the executable, when you create it, if you're doing it the same way I am. I just prefer to have it the same name as the C++ file. Anyway, ruler object is being created, and the length of the ruler is 6 inches. That is how to create a simple class in C++ using a simple constructor. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Have them subscribe, and I will see you next time.